Hey, you! You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed because you're an untouchable success. To support us and gain access to great exclusive shows like our brand new Supernatural watch-along Himboos, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You'll also get your lucky little mitts on hundreds of episodes of our other exclusive shows like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and the complete series of Fox Mulder is a Maniac. We do movie nights, game streaming, regular mini-series and surprise shows, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want, within reason. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by heading to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed. Probably don't need help with that word. Children.
That's
Childs. Kinder.
with a Z. Childs with a Z. They could have called
Kids
this.
with a Z. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman, I guess.
And we just watched Kids.
Kids.
Whose kids? Not my fucking kids, that's for sure. I don't know these guys.
Nah, these aren't my people.
Darcy!
Hey,
Hey, what's up? What are you doing right now?
I was just getting ready to take a bath.
Go take a bath, come swim with us.
Hi, Darcy. Hi, Kim. Hi, Joy.
Come on, come swimming.
Right now?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
No, they were all older than me. These kids are way cooler than me.
yeah, that's true. Real cool
I
kids.
was way too nerdy to be hanging out with these kids.
Oh, yeah. Some of this, actually, I had some teenage scumbag stuff where I'm like, I've been at parties like this, but yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I have been wallowing in this filth before.
Oh,
Yeah.
Big old thank you, first of all, to Burrito, our patron producer, who had us watch Kids, because we sure as fuck wasn't going to watch it without someone telling us to.
Thanks.
Thanks, Burrito. Burrito did want to specify that obviously there's going to be like a content warning for even this podcast, because we're going to talk about, unsettling things.
Yeah. Cool.
Well,
I both think kids is interesting in that it gets both the reputation it deserves, and I think more of a reputation it deserves. It just similar to like the Scarface chainsaw scene, where a lot of it is not actually what you see. But still, there is plenty of the shit that you do see that is terribly, terribly upsetting. And boy, this is a tough film to watch.
Yeah, I guess my hot take is we've watched worse.
We have.
Yeah.
We have, but it's
more of like...
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just more that this is like you said, this is the Mickey Mouse of this type of movie, where it's like it's the most iconic hard to watch movie. It doesn't mean it's the hardest to watch movie.
It is literally the Mickey Mouse because Disney owns it.
That explains why it's hard to find.
Yep. I believe it was a Miramax release, and then they created a different company, whatever you see at the beginning.
Produced by Gus Van Sant.
Yep.
Yep.
They had to create a different production company for it to release it.
Okay.
Sort of like Kevin Smith with Dogma.
Right.
But yeah, it also, what makes this so upsetting is the age of the characters involved. And in a lot of cases, the age of the performers. Everybody in this is like a teenager.
Yeah. This is one of those movies where I'm so glad I recognize people in it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it feels so grimy that you're like, that knowing that these are professional actors. And apparently, I looked into this. Apparently, this movie is heavily scripted. It doesn't come off that way.
No, it doesn't. And that's one of the positive things I wanted to say about Kids is that I do think the script is good. Like, I think there's genuinely good lines in it. And when I was reading about it this time, if you know anything about the movie, it was released in 1995. It's documentary style, directed by Larry Clark, written by Harmony Korine, who is himself kind of a character. I think Spring Breakers was the other big one that got.
Yeah, he makes scummy movies. I
Makes
don't.
movies about scumbags, but something interesting, just real quick before we go off on that before we pick up that thread.
Yeah, for sure.
I noticed this time around looking into this movie that the original story treatment was not written by Harmony Korine. It was written by Larry Clark and another person, and then they came to him for the script apparently.
Oh, okay.
Which is
Interesting.
Yeah, so I didn't know that before this. I thought this was like something like,
Didn't
this is
Korine
another
do, like,
fucking.
Gummo?
I think he did.
Yeah, this is the thing is like I looked at both of these people and I'm like, I really haven't seen anything they've done since Kids, and I kind of know why. Where it's like they all look very just too grimy and depressing. That I it's just not my style.
It's tough. It's real tough. Yeah.
Yeah, watching this movie, like most of the movie isn't disturbing. It's watching people hang out. But obviously that's not what makes a movie. The number of disturbing things per minute is not how people judge if a movie's disturbing.
No, it's the building to the disturbing things.
Yeah. But it is like, yeah, what you said, it is made with intent. Like, so like the acting,
you don't
for
feel like you're
example, is
watching
incredible.
A snuff. Yeah, you don't feel like you're watching a snuff film. I want to get that across.
Yeah. Well, you kind of do because they're trying to make you feel that way.
They are trying to make you feel that way, but I think it's like you said, I'm glad I know people. Because like the first shot is tough. It's Telly making
it's disgusting.
It's so gross, so visceral. Just Telly making out with this young teenager. But like knowing that like these are actors that I've seen, like Telly's on The Wire, like and like one of their friends later on is the fucking dude from Scary Movie.
Right,
and like meet the parents. So like,
yeah, this might be subjective, but I feel like it isn't shot in a way that it's like, oh yeah, like it's shot like that first shot is repulsive.
Yeah,
and it's like it's shot in a way that it's kind of like, look at these gross animals. Like these kids who are just driven by their urges, and it's not sexy.
No, it's
gross.
It's gross and grimy. Like none of the sex in the movie is filmed like that. No, and in point of fact, that the infamous ending, the assault that ends the movie, the camera very purposely starts focusing on the child that's sleeping next to them.
Yeah.
Like the 12, 13-year-old boy that's just passed out, like not 2 feet away from them.
That whole sequence is shot very horror-like.
Yeah. It reminds, it's bad.
Yeah, it's all to say that like this was shot knowing what it was and what it wanted to be.
It wanted to be upsetting.
And it is structured like a movie. I wrote this down several times. It's AIDS Jaws. AIDS is the shark. Listen, hear me out. Hear me out. There's a character who's like, AIDS doesn't exist, like the mayor. And then there's a character who's like, I only sleep with virgins, which is like the I don't go in the ocean. I'm just saying.
Right, the complete, like, he's like, yeah, see, I don't want to mess with, see, they're all dirty. I only mess, like, the complete, like,
right.
You're the dirty one, Telly. You are the dirty one. You have the dirty dick here.
That's true.
Like...
It's treating AIDS like not in a, again, it's a PSA. It's a long PSA in a way because it's treating AIDS as like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you think you're careful. Like it like it can happen. Like they notably have a scene where I remember as a kid not really this clicking because I only saw this when I was like 16, right? When I never watched it again until now.
I saw this in 2002.
Yeah.
and then now.
Yeah. And when I saw it then, I was like, that was depressing and a waste of time. Watching it now, kind of knowing more context, like, for example, when they are ridiculously fucking homophobic at that gay couple, I was thinking about the AIDS epidemic and how that action is basically the attitude that made AIDS a problem in the first place. Ignoring the AIDS epidemic and homophobia, basically not caring that gay people were going to die, and then
to the point
and
of
only caring when it affected them. And it's like, it's that homophobia has a reason. It's kids, kind of reflecting that attitude that results in several characters in this getting HIV. Mm-hmm. That idea of like AIDS, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's
right.
a gay
it comes off.
Disease.
Well, and it comes like a couple of scenes after the one character, like you were saying, literally says he doesn't believe it exists.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen anybody with AIDS. It's like, buddy, a lot of people died.
Yeah. And
But
so it
yeah,
is.
yeah, it's just like and also, man, there is a lot that is weirdly appealing about this movie. Like, I get why people still talk about it, and I get why, even though, like we're saying, it's sort of the Mickey Mouse version of disturbing films. Like, it's Requiem for a Dream is more hardcore than this.
Yeah.
And that's another movie that's almost 30 years old. But like, there's still something. I think it's the performances. I think it's just how natural and real everybody feels. And I know that's intentional. And I know that's how a big part of how they cast it was literally finding these people on the street. Like Telly, the actor, was just some skateboarder they saw. There's a lot of skateboarders in this film.
Yeah. I wrote this down actually, is that like, I think the acting carries this movie 90% of the time because I think the dialogue is purposefully uncinematic. It's natural. It's almost mumblecore, right? It has purpose. Again, it was all very written out.
But very, very pointed. Yeah. Very very intentional. But what you're saying, yeah, it doesn't feel like, it feels almost mumblecore.
Right. Like a scene, I don't care about a scene where a bunch of teenage girls talk about what cum tastes like, right? But then you have Rosario Dawson performing the shit out of it. And it's like she's doing such a good job that there's an energy in all the scenes that's very natural, like a group of kids getting together and like, you know, shouting at each other and being excitable. So it's like the performances are just so fucking good that these very boring conversations are rather like...
They're really propelled.
They're really propelled. That's the word. Yes.
And that sequence, I wanted to call it in particular because that's, I think, an example of the script being good, because it does seem like these sort of like kind of pointless scenes of these groups of friends. It's cutting back and forth between the boys and the girls. But we're seeing the juxtaposition of it is we're seeing their contradicting worldviews.
Yes.
They're seeing
How they think about sex.
Yes. The guys are speaking with such authority about women. And then we're seeing the girls all talking about it, and it's like the guys are so clueless and wrong. And
yeah, there's this notable thing I wrote down, which is that the girls are talking about different tiers of sex. They say like there's fucking, there's making love, and there's sex. And she's like, fucking is obviously like, it's passion, you know, it's horniness. Making love is like, you know, you love
it's
the
sweet.
person, obviously.
It's like slow, it's slow. And then she's like, having sex is like in the middle. Like,
you're right. It's almost mechanical. It's almost transactional. And so they recognize that there's different tiers of sex. And then you cut to the boys and they're just like, yeah, sex. Yeah. And it's like, there's no tiers in
that one kid just stands up because the one dude is like, I want to die fucking. And the other's like, hell yeah, man. He just like starts like fucking thrusting his hips into the air like a maniac.
Yeah.
And collapses onto the couch. It's the juxtaposition is really it tells a very loud story in that sequence.
The whole thing does, and it has like 3 parts in a structure. It also I'm glad it also treats the girls as also being disgusting, horny freaks. Like the idea is it's right, like but it's teenagers are disgusting.
It's so different. Like
it's
with the girls, it's not about the conquest. And it's not about this. It's not about violence. Like it's not about the conquest,
right? It's
and
not,
their conversation,
it's not conquering.
And that's all the guys are focused on. And it's so objectifying and so just casually violent in a way that the way the girls talk about it, even though they're both equally graphic, equally frank, they're both the girls enjoy fucking just as much as the boys do. It's the way that they talk about it and the way that they think about it is so totally different.
Yeah.
And I mean, and a lot of this movie is about how that sort of perpetuates itself, obviously.
Yeah, and how the predatory nature. They do things like I really like the scene where Jenny, she finds out she has HIV. She takes a cab, and the cab driver, this folksy old man, still frames the way he's talking in a predatory way. He keeps going like, "You're so beautiful. You're like a prom king." It's all about that she's beautiful, and he thinks he's being harmless.
Yeah.
And she even smiles, like she's not freaked out by him in the scene, but you recognize that this guy's just like, why are you framing it like that to her? Why are you talking to this teenage girl?
Under constant assault from this, and it's just like,
and he can't, and as his age, he can't even possibly fathom the problem she's dealing with. He's like, oh, what, your boyfriend broke up with her? And it's like, no, she found out she has HIV. Like a fairly new situation, something that you didn't deal with when you were a teenager.
yeah. In his creepy old defense, he's only a little bit creepy, but in his defense, he does give her kind of some perspective in that scene. He is kind of right that, look, everything's not bad, right? Everything's not ruined. The sun's still out. We still have a beautiful day. Like, there's still stuff that is going right, isn't there? Like, he does give her some perspective that she needs to hear in that moment.
He's not even necessarily trying to be creepy.
No,
like
he's not.
It's almost like subconscious in the scene of like he still kind of frames everything around you're a beautiful young woman.
It's so ingrained in the interaction, and like this is the script of how men interact with women.
Yeah. And again, there's this structure where it's like we have the first act like is immediately like you have HIV.
Yep.
And that's coupled with them saying like, again, it's very loud, like you said, where them being like, I don't think AIDS even exists. So you can see it all kind of rolling. And then you have your second act, like, let's get the party going. This feeling of like, it's almost like a Dazed and Confused, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it wants to be that, like a kid hangout film. It's a romp. We're going to the pool. We're breaking in. We're having fun. We're collecting people.
Right. Every stage of it is so dark.
Yeah.
Like, it's like in the Sandlot, if when they broke into the fucking picnic to steal all the hot dogs, like Ham slips and burns himself on the grill or something. It's just like the worst version of the summer hangout.
It feels like he watched Dazed and Confused and was like, no. Like, because Dazed and Confused, you look at the beats. I love Dazed and Confused, but it's like, oh, they get into fights. There's the paddling. There's, the hazing, and it all works out, and everybody parties and has sex. And this is the version where it's like, no, everybody gets drunk and people get assaulted, and those beatings are serious. You beat a guy up at a skate park, and he's seriously
probably died.
Up. Yeah.
Like, he hits him in the face, full-on baseball swing with the trucks of his skateboard. Like, that.
Right.
That's a bad hit.
Again, I like Dazed and Confused, but that has a real, like, well, boys will be boys attitude.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it great? That rose-covered glasses. And this movie's like, no, it's not. I think because this was written when they were young, the writer, I think,
I think
so
he's 17, I think, Harmony Korine at this point. He's in the movie. He's the guy with the Coke bottle glasses. Jenny Jen!
Fidget.
Yeah, that's him.
Fucking hero Fidget.
He has one of the best
Nightmare
lines,
Man.
Too. Of course he does.
Feeding people drugs. I love Fidget because he just looks like he'd get beat up at the Sandlot.
He looks like his name is Fidget.
Yeah.
Like, what does he call him? What does he call them? Bozos from Jersey?
Yeah.
They're on ecstasy.
Movie.
They're on ecstasy, feeling the effectstasy.
Yeah.
He's fucking great.
Fidget, I wrote the Coke bottle glasses drug pusher.
Yep.
Like, and he's just like such a menace.
He's the guy that fucking forces the drugs onto Jenny and she's passed out in the end. It kind of sets her up to get assaulted.
Yeah, because
Old
Jenny
Fidget.
is sort of in this. I thought of it as like this big machine, right? That's the constant momentum where it's like everybody's just fucking constantly moving. Everybody's like
they're playing
pressuring
their roles.
everybody. Yeah, everybody's like working each other up, and Jenny finds this thing out where it's like she's sort of catatonic to it. She doesn't want, like, she's just sort of kind of like a sock in the machine, just like flying around.
She's in the river,
every which
right?
way.
Throwing her hand up in the current, like, hold on, like this, something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong here, and she just gets swept away.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
Like,
It's a miserable fucking movie. Yeah, sorry.
No, when she walks in on him and that the teenager,
giving the
young
13-year-old girl AIDS, or HIV rather.
Yeah,
sorry.
And she just breaks. It's like, what's even the point of saying anything in this moment? It's just she gives up.
She freezes. Right. It's like you said. It's HIV Jaws, AIDS Jaws.
It's AIDS Jaws.
She's Brody at the beach, being like, I didn't get here fast enough to save Alex Kittner. Yeah, that is. Boy, that hits different being a father now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was always grim, but like, I was 19 when I saw this movie the first time, and now I'm 42.
Exactly.
Now I'm 42.
I think that's
It's just so dark. It's such a miserable movie.
I think that's why we're appreciating it now, because you realize this movie was written by people who are young about a realistic version of being young. It's not an old person remembering being young. And it was written in that way of like, yeah, being young fucking sucks from a young person, and watching it young, you kind of like, like, you're like a teenager. You're so cynical. Now as an adult, you realize like this movie was kind of actually for adults more. Like a teenager isn't going to get any, like even as an anti-AIDS PSA, I don't think it really functions that way. Really. I think it's more of like a horror story for adults.
I think it's more about, gosh, like that ennui, that sort of tribalism that develops just between this is what boys do and this is what girls do.
Right.
And then you definitely see it when they see the gay couple. Then that's really when the sort of tribalism,
right?
Because they're all of a sudden they're all just and then like I think right after that is when they're all like 100 miles an hour angry at that guy immediately, and they just beat him into the dirt.
Right. It's sort of, I mean, you would know more than me because you're a parent, but even at my age, like watching it as a teenager, you're less effective, where it's like if you took the movie Mad Max, which is awesome, right?
Yeah, it rules.
And then replaced all the characters with puppies, you'd feel sad watching it.
Rules less.
Because you'd be like, stop hurting the puppies.
Right.
It's that, right? Where
even
it's like
Toe
you're
Cutter,
watching...
even Toe Cutter, I'm like, but he's a puppy. Like he was a puppy.
Exactly. It would be sad.
If you just pet him, he wouldn't have turned into this mad dog.
Whenever I watch a movie where an animal is in danger, I actually go like, well, okay, in dog years, it's like a 30-year-old guy. So just imagine a 30-year-old guy being like, ow, my leg. But this is that, right? Where you're watching, like, that's why it's called kids.
Yeah.
You're watching kids and you're like, oh, for the love of God, please stop hurting these kids. It's so horrific.
It's just, I mean, it's about poverty. You know, it's like they're all
that too
trapped in this is kind of like the very last thing that Telly says. It's like the final voiceover of the film. To paraphrase, he's basically like, when you're young, kind of, you just find a thing to live for and latch on to that. And then like kind of there's no other really reason to live around that. And he's like, my reason to live is pussy. Like I go to bed thinking about pussy. I wake up thinking about pussy, and it's crass and it's crude, but it's like, it's so,
keeps me going.
It's so bleak. It's so nihilistic. And it's just, they're all in this trap where it's like, that's kind of how they all have to sort of exist. They just sort of like lurch from one, sort of, a drug hazed good time to another, just kind of like, I mean, because what else are we going to do? Like,
it's what Ready Player One should have been about.
Yeah.
Like Ready Player One, if you think about it, should be like an addiction movie where it's like in the future, there's nothing to live for except for this fucking thing.
Except for the Oasis. Yeah.
Yeah. And we turned into a fucking adventure movie. Whatever. It's still, we got some good fun animated GIFs out of that, but just the one of the ball shot. But yeah, it's that, right? It's like if you're in poverty, you like where
they don't
what
have
do you do?
anything.
What do you do to escape?
They have nothing. Like this part definitely feels louder to me now that I'm older. Because you just notice it more. But like, I mean, they even have a whole scene where Telly's trying to get cash from his mom, and it's like everybody in this movie is so poor, and it's.
They do a good job though, because the mom isn't like this abusive stereotype or anything. She seems nice enough.
Pretty typical mom. Like she's not up his ass, but she's also not like letting him walk all over her really. So it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah. This is
like
kind of
a bad household. You know,
Telly is like he's a functional scumbag.
Yeah,
Casper is not.
No,
Casper is not Casper is his little Beavis, I guess.
Yeah,
he is not a functional scumbag. He's just fully chaotic.
Yeah, he's gonna be a senator.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I guess where this movie, I guess I would argue, failed. And I'm not saying the movie is a failure, it was badly done. It's more about like, why is this movie ultimately just something that people look at and go like, ugh, that movie, and move on, right?
Right, it's sort of like a car accident is kind of how it's regarded.
Right, and it's that idea of like, if you want to say something to the world, you have to say it in a way that they're going to want to watch it or hear it, right? Like what is movies? You know, that question of like, this feels like it's tackling very important subjects, but it's doing it in a way that most people aren't going to watch it. I was thinking about something. Did you ever watch The Corner?
No.
The Corner is David Simon's first version of The Wire. It's a mini series. I watched it. It's shorter. It's more like this. It's grimier. It's done in like an interview style where it feels like a documentary. And there's no real, it's more just flat of like, look at these people on heroin and how fucking much this sucks. I don't think it was an actual documentary. I want to make sure, because I'm pretty sure people from The Wire show up in or are in The Corner.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting
Telly
to
might
watch.
be in The Corner for all we know.
Yeah. It's interesting to watch because it just doesn't quite work. It just feels a little more like meandering, and it felt a little grimier. And there's definitely people who were in it. And so you look at, it won a bunch of Emmys, it looks like people liked it. Obviously, it got him The Wire.
The Wire, yeah.
But just my impression of it was like, oh, I see why you would make The Wire after this. Because you take The Corner and go like, what if we like made it a little more fun? What if there was a guy with a pet duck? You know, what if we made it like a show, and we recognize that TV shows have to sort of be a little more entertainment leaning at times.
What if we had a lead character that was more of a scoundrel than a bastard?
Exactly. And so it like when you look at The Wire, it's like The Wire obviously isn't a perfectly realistic depiction of the crime in Baltimore, but it was him wanting to pass that view on, that world on, to an audience, and wanting as many people as possible to absorb it. And so like The Wire, I would argue, is the more successful tactic, which is like you manage to, like bring that to a wide amount of people. I don't know. People could argue maybe like, well, isn't it exploitative to take like poverty and crime and turn it into entertainment, that this guy was able to do that? Like, it's a conversation. I just look at kids and I'm like, it's weird to have that note, but I'm like, I think you needed to make this like a little easier to digest if you wanted your message to get seen more.
Yeah.
Or I guess that's a debate. It's a question.
It's a debate.
It's more of like,
it's like a horror movie. Like, does a horror movie have to have a happy ending? No, of course not.
no.
So like,
But people watch horror movies to get an adrenaline rush of being scared. Whereas like kids, it's like, I don't know who watches kids.
it's tough, man. It is.
Kids feels like a dare. It feels like something like an indie film that everybody might have watched once around when it came out. Probably did it win any awards? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I could see it being called like an important movie, you know.
I'll agree. I think it's a good movie. I think
it's a good movie. I think it's a very well done movie. I don't like it. But
It's like, I mean, but I don't want to put words into our patron's mouth, but I'm sure they had us watch it as part of a bit. Like, it's kind of the thing about kids is that it's a good movie. It is just not fun to watch at all. It's punishing to watch.
Yeah, I don't actually think it was a bit. Looking at what Burrito has, but like, you know, again, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I think it's. I mean, it could be. He might. Maybe Burrito's someone that like we hurt and we didn't know we hurt.
I just know we've mentioned kids before as like to compare. It's like, it's not kids. It's not like that intense. So like, wouldn't it be funny if we made them watch kids?
Oh yeah. Well, in a way, this demystified kids for me. Because like, all right, a funny example is Away From Her, that Sarah Polley movie.
Oh yeah.
I found that harder to watch than Kids, because I think that one, where I am in life, it probably is like it's about getting older. I think Away From Her is just so much fucking like it's weird to say sadder, but it's this feeling of like I don't know. Kids is harder to watch, I think, minute by minute for the reason of it's mostly just people talking in a room. It's still like more entertaining than like, again, full on mumblecore.
Those scenes are entertaining. It's just the stuff that's upsetting is very, very upsetting.
Yeah. Honestly, Away From Her is also like, it's kind of a different feeling altogether.
That's like
I think the worst thing to watch
philosophical,
is
like soul-crushing
right.
Sorry, finish that thought.
No, I was just going to say, ultimately, I think the hardest to watch is just a bad movie, a bad,
of course, just
movie.
a bad, boring movie is ultimately the worst to watch.
But in terms of like, emotion.
If listeners, Away From Her was the one that we covered a while ago. It's a movie about a man checking his wife into a retirement home as she gets Alzheimer's, and she forgets who he is and falls in love with somebody else at the retirement home.
It's just sad.
It's just
but not.
sad.
It's bittersweet, but it's like
so. It's like do I like he? Yeah, it's
yeah, like Kids to me is like these short bursts of upsetting things. Right?
Yeah.
This is like stepping on someone's head, whereas Away From Her was like slowly twisting the knife. You know,
that's like vacuuming someone's soul out.
Yeah.
In Away From Her.
Or you mentioned Requiem for a Dream. That's an obvious one where it's like that one is generally at least that one's so well like interestingly made that there's stuff to.
I think that one is. I find that one more unpleasant than this, as I brought up earlier.
Me too, and part of it is maybe where you are in life or what, but like Requiem is. Yeah, again, it's hard because it's like ultimately you can't really compare this stuff objectively, but it just that it's all to say that Kids was kind of demystified as being this thing in my mind that was like the end all worst of the worst, sad, depressing.
Yeah,
and it isn't not depressing.
No, it sucks.
It's just there's worse. There's worse. That's all.
Yeah,
it's less gross. Oh well, it's gross, but I like, for example, the shot of the pasta and cigarette butts and vomiting is the only shot that like that and like the weird the making out and that shit. But that like it's two different types of revulsion, but you know what I mean. Where it's like that's the more of like. Oh, come on, you didn't have to show that shot of
right,
pasta
but it puts you in that place, right? It drags you right into that house.
Yeah,
we've been at that house party.
Yeah,
I think there is a lot to like about this film. So I am glad that I was asked to watch this again. Or rather, there are a lot of good things about this film.
Well, again, it's very well made.
And I don't know that we get all those movies that we say that are worse. If Kids hadn't, at least like Kids is like, I mean, you see something like Euphoria now, like the Kids is probably super tame, compared to kids who grew up watching Euphoria.
Yeah, I never saw Euphoria. There's certain ones that are notorious, like obviously a Serbian film I've never seen. Audition, Hana showed me that. That was a lot of fun. Audition didn't bother me as much as Kids. That's a different
breed of thing.
Yeah, that's more like fun, I want to say. Like an Old Boy where it's like, look at this fucked up thing. I'm going to dance all over it. Like we're going to revel in what we're making you experience, you know? Like Audition is like, yeah, we're fucked up.
You're going to eat the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Where Kids, what makes it fucked up is that it, again, like the way it's shot, there's a lot of shots I noticed where like they'll shoot like through windows or between objects or like act like they've stolen the shot. Mm-hmm. This movie cost almost $2 million to make. So it's like you watch it and you go like that. You forget, like that's the point, right? You forget that these are actors on a set in a fairly controlled situation.
Where
And,
all of this dialogue is at least the vast majority of it is tightly scripted.
Yeah. And it does, we talked about horror. Just wanted to note how much it does unfold that way, where like it slowly, the way it's kind of slowly introduces ideas, I thought was interesting. Because you sort of start with the virgin thing, and it's almost seen as like not funny, but it's like, look at these boys being bros talking about smell my fingers, and that was one where I was like, do people do this? That's disgusting.
Well, they are scumbags. These are two arch scumbags. It's just Telly can function as one in society. Casper can't.
Right. Yes. No, just that weird, like I never was a teenager and being like, I want to tell you, my friend, about the sex I just had. Like that was never my world. I guess it could be somebody's.
Yeah, I'm far too awkward for that.
Yeah.
Like normal small talk is terrifying for me. So good Lord.
Right. Like this was like that idea of like, I recognize some of these environments, but also this isn't my crowd kind of feeling, where it's like definitely like scumbag parties and stuff. Like it made me think back of parties, big parties at my house and at other people's house when I was a teenager. And like that kind of horrific realization of like, I wonder what awful things happened at those parties that I didn't know about.
All of this.
Yeah. Where you think about like that those wild parties and friend groups, and you're like, who amongst my friends was a terrible person, and I just didn't know it.
That's what I try. This is a good reminder for me to sort of help me keep those rose-colored glasses in perspective, or in the drawer where they belong, is when I think back onto the chaotic times of my youth like this, where I would go to random house parties and wake up in the morning surrounded by strangers, much like Casper does at the very end of this movie. Be like, what the fuck happened? But it's like, this is just like a reminder to think back to any one of those. Oh yeah, that crazy night where we like pushed the pool table off the balcony. Like, yeah, it's that night might have been like the worst night ever for somebody. Yeah,
I think about, there was a house we used to party at that was owned by a 30-year-old French Canadian. And no one had a relationship to him. He just let us party in his basement. And I think back at that and go like, wait a second.
A real Moss situation.
Yeah. Wait a second. Is that guy like a true detective murderer? Like, what was that? What was that?
That was the King in Yellow. You were partying in his basement in Las Carcosa.
How many times did I party and there was a guy like pointing a gun at me from the darkness and I didn't know? Like what? How many times
standing there motionless in night vision goggles?
Yeah, like what was that? And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Casper never comes, like he never does anything predatory until the end, if I recall.
Not really. It comes like he talks a big game throughout the film. But yeah, it's really,
it feels like the point of him. It's like if Jay from Jay and Silent Bob did an assault at the end of Clerks. It's that idea of like this guy who's like, yeah, I love pussy. And you're like, he's kind of a joke. And then at the end, he quietly does something horrifying.
Right. He's just this weird little goblin that they've kept around, this salacious crumb he's kept around all movie.
Right.
Like we sort of, they build up to it. Like, but you're right. Casper is kind of like the wacky sidekick for most of the movie, even though he casually uses the N-word. But I mean, they use it the way that white kids did in the 90s, if that makes sense to anybody listening.
Yes.
Not with the hard R.
That's going back to the progression, which is, that they definitely like, they note it, but it's casual. It's never, but like they do, like, it's all say in the first act they're seen as like, oh, they're just kind of harmless kids.
The harm is identified in Telly instantly, because we find out pretty quickly he's out there. His goal is to go have sex with this 13-year-old.
Yeah, he's
tonight.
He's not harmless.
And then we learn from Chloe that Telly has HIV, so he's yeah. But anyway, sorry.
It's more just like that slow roll of like, again, the Dazed and Confused of it all, where it's like, the first few sequences are like Yeah, again, kind of dark, but then like someone gets beat up and you're like, Jesus. And like the homophobia and you're like, Jesus Christ.
You start to see the flashes of who he is come out. Like in that park scene, like Telly's talking to this other girl about Darcy is the 13-year-old who he wants to meet up with. He's talking to her about Darcy and she's like, why are you still hanging out with that Casper guy? I fucking hate him. Like, what do you mean? He's fine. No, that kid used to eat glue in 7th grade. Oh, he still does that. And then they pan over to him doing something goofy and kind of weirdly charming. And he's like, no, fucking hate that guy. And like immediately after that is like, or rather in the same sequence anyway, it's the homophobic rant against the gay couple. And then when Casper just smashes that guy into the ground with him and his friends after he runs into the guy, like he skates into the guy.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, the guy decides to make an issue of it. Sure, like he sort of tries to let it go at first, but then they, but anyway, it's like, you're right. He's treated as like this Jay or like this Beavis and Butthead kind of harmless sidekick goofball character. And then it was like, oh no, he's like a paint sniffing maniac weirdo who's violent and a rapist.
Right. These aren't your average kids.
No,
and
they're
the movie
not.
Slowly,
Yes.
but some things are. Some things are things that happen everywhere.
Yes.
But like that slow roll of by the time you get to them breaking in the pool and stuff, you just are like, I don't feel like these girls are safe.
They're not.
Like it's that feeling of like slowly realizing that these boys are just more and more like fucked up. And then the party happens and it's like, woo, yeah. Like it kind of, it's the third act. It kind of has this like energy to it. And then the party starts dying down and they notably show these guys, like one guy trying to talk this girl into sex and the other guy just
it's all
pushing
very
himself on her. And it's like, okay, everybody's just passed out, throwing up, or trying to have sex with somebody,
pressuring
and
people into
gross.
sex. Yeah,
it's all quiet and weird and like
sinister.
Right, and it just this slow, gradual, like a horror movie where everything keeps getting worse and worse, but it's so gradual that you don't necessarily like feel it all. There's no one moment that happens.
And I think that's the point of it, right? It's how I think that's what the script is saying, is that is how these things happen.
Yeah.
Some of these things. I mean, that's
Again,
how
it's the machine, this momentum.
This momentum, yeah.
Yeah, one day, the dazed and confused energy of like this is one day hanging out, but it's pretty much everybody's worst day hanging out.
Oy.
It's I don't know. It's very well crafted.
It is. It is undeniably well crafted. Like we said,
Casper sings "Friendly Ghost" at one point.
He sure
too.
does.
Oh my God! Not true, Casper. You are not a friendly ghost.
Not at all,
but
man.
Perfect name and song for that part because everybody's asleep but him.
Yep.
He's a ghost walking around.
That's right. I never made that connection.
And then, the little kids you noted, they get introduced in the third act.
Uh-huh.
Like you slowly start realizing, like, oh, some of these are kids, and you're like, oh, it's getting grimier and grimier, and like the
kids
parties
smoking and drinking and talking about pussy. And it's like these are 12-year-olds.
Yeah, it's a painting, and the longer you look at it, the worse it gets. Where you realize, like, oh, this is not fun.
No,
and
this
it does
is really
a good job.
dark.
It does a good job at like almost showing fun. And again, going back to the dialogue, comparing it to Dazed and Confused, like the Dazed and Confused dialogue is meant to be movie dialogue.
Yeah.
People are funny. People say real like things that
profound pieces of wisdom. And they say movie
whereas
lines.
the kids in here, they talk like kids. They talk really, even a joke isn't actually funny to us. It's just funny to the people around them, right? Like it's.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. The only person that I was like, that's kind of funny, is the guy who's slapping his dick around at the pool. I was like, that's a funny thing to do.
Yeah, Harold, he's one of the most malignant rapists.
Oh, yeah. He ends up being like awful.
Yeah. There's some awful dudes, man. I mean, him and Casper kind of beat the guy the worst.
Yeah.
In the park.
And again, if you're a person to whip your dick out and slap it back and forth, maybe stay away from that guy.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe don't get in a pool with him.
Yeah. I don't.
Oy.
Kids.
Kids.
Again, Jaws AIDS. I wanted to make a poster called Jaws AIDS, and then I thought against it.
No. I think you should go with your first instinct.
Yeah, I didn't want to invest time in that.
No.
Because then what do I do with it? Do I show it to people?
Yeah.
Do I email it to my parents?
You kickstart it.
Yeah.
See this?
Yeah. Is it
This
Jaws AIDS or AIDS Jaws?
This could be yours.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say about kids.
I thought I had a final thought, but I guess I don't. I still go back to the wire of it all, where I'm like, this movie is probably... I think people regard this movie worse than it is. Like, watching it now, and I don't mean worse in terms of content, I mean in quality, where, like, I think people think of this movie as, like, a snuff film made by weird perverts.
Yeah.
Where watching it, you're like, this was mapped out, this was planned out, this has intent. It's not shot in an exploitative way. I can't speak to the people making it in their personal lives, but the film itself is done in a way where I don't go like, well, that was disturbing for no reason, or that was cruel for no reason.
It's uncomfortable, but that's the point.
Yeah, it has intent, and it has the right intent. I just overall think that the reason the movie is regarded that way is because it never really wants to engage with an audience.
No.
And so it's a piece of art for sure, and good and well done piece of art. But it is also like, nobody in the world who made this should be surprised that people are repelled by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone is.
Yeah. Be amazing if Gus Van Sant was like, that was my Star Wars and nobody liked it. That was going to be my big hit. I was going to make so many kids.
We'd be on the sequel trilogy by now. We'd have gotten the prequels, the kids prequels,
Kids prequels, Tots.
the Clone Wars,
Yep. It's just same title. The
Twin Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. They get a Mandalorian spin-off of kids. I don't even know what that would be.
I think they'd just all be Baby Yoda, right?
Yeah.
Just Baby Yoda doing whippets.
All baby. Yeah. Whippets.
Whippets!
Whippets are fun. Don't do whippets.
Do not do whippets. You will end up like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Burrito.
Thank you.
I am. It's one of those things where, I don't know, I wouldn't have watched this otherwise. Like, yeah, this is kind of like homework, but it's also like, I feel like I've grown by watching this movie again.
No, I'm glad it exists. It's a snapshot. It's grimy. It's you can feel like it takes place in a hot summer day, and you can feel like how how hot it is. It's uncomfortable.
It's a stench.
Yeah, it really hits you in the face with some uncomfortable truths about the way that certain things were for kids of this age. And yeah, I think, man, as a snapshot, it is undeniably appealing and has merit, like, because it really transports you to this time and place when you watch it.
Yeah, it's talent. There's talent.
Yes, yeah. It's transportative, and I guess what else could you ask for?
If anything, it's a really good audition for a lot of talented people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Burrito. This was done through our Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. If you go on there, you can get custom We Just Watched episodes like this one, but there's also, just for $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, Himboos, our supernatural podcast. Way more appealing, those hunks, than these kids. We watch movies every Friday night.
Way less grimy.
Yeah. We will not watch kids on our Friday night movie nights.
No.
That's a guarantee.
That will not happen.
Yeah. Unless something really dark has happened.
Right.
like-
Yeah, that'll be how we'll signify. Or
Here's-
rather,
here's-
go ahead.
Oh, no, I figured out a scenario. If our patrons get together and murder one of us, the other one, I feel like, is obligated to silently put kids on
That's a good
and
point.
nothing else.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
that.
So don't murder us.
Put that on in like Battleship Potemkin.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, check out our Patreon.
Kids and Battleship Potemkin. We also have a store. Head over to Patreon. Fucking hell. Head over to GamefullyUnemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store, where we have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Please rate and review our podcast wherever you're listening, and check out our other show, Badical, Badical, also wherever you are listening. That's it.
All of it is objectively more fun than watching kids.
Boy, is it.
Yeah. That, again, our guarantee. I'm willing to
Like
bet
driving
money.
a go-kart into a ditch is objectively more fun than watching kids, though.
Yeah, that's true. At least you get airborne for a second.
It's true. We got to. What kind of ditch we talking about? Let me see the
Yeah.
ditch. Let me see the ditch.
Maybe it's
And-
filled with puppies.
That's man,
Puppy ditch.
puppy ditch.
Yeah, you're gonna squish some, but the rest will be
You're going with
adorable.
puppy ditch every time.
Yeah,
If I got to squish a few so I don't have to watch kids again, that's fine with me.
yeah.
They were like
right.
30 in dog years.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew, or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at Artness by JustinBrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at StarleneArts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.